Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today we are going to be making ladders or ropes that you can climb in your side-scrolling platformer games. The first step is to make a new tile on your tile map to be a ladder. So go into your tile map, click on My Tiles, and click the plus, and then draw yourself a ladder or a rope. So quickly make a ladder. There we go. And then just draw your ladder onto your map. Click done. This tutorial is just assuming that you already have the basics done, just the basic setup and being able to jump. If not, it's in the side-scrolling platformer part 1 video. The next step is to go into game and drag out an on-game update. Next, go into logic and grab out an if-else block. Drop that in. Then go into scene and drag out this tile tile to left of my sprite is. Drag that out and drop it into where it says true. Change left to center and change this blank bit to your ladder or your rope. So what this is doing so far is every time something happens in the game, it's going to see if the center of your character is touching a ladder. Next, go into logic and drag out another if-else block, that in the if section, and then go into controller and grab this is A button pressed. Drop that into true and change A to up. Next, go into sprites and drag out this set my sprite X to 0. Drop it in there and change X to velocity Y and change 0 to -50. This is saying now, every time the game updates, check if the center of your sprite is touching a ladder. If it is, check if the up button is pressed. And if the up button is pressed, start climbing up the ladder. But what if the up button isn't pressed? What if the down button is pressed? So we'll drag out another if-else block and drop it into the else, and then go into controller and grab out another is A button pressed, put it in true, and change A to down. So if we're holding the down button while we're on a ladder, we want to climb down the ladder. So go into sprites, grab the set my sprite X to 0, and drop that into here. And we're going to change the X to velocity Y and change 0 to 50. So now, if we go along to our ladder in our game, if we hold the up arrow, we'll go up, and if we hold the down arrow, we'll go down. But what if we want to stay still on the ladder? To do that, we're going into sprites and drag out 2 more of these set my sprite X to 0. 1, 2, and change the first X to velocity Y and the second X to acceleration Y. And leave those both at 0. So now if we go over to our little ladder, if we climb up this ladder, we'll go up. If we go down the ladder, we'll go down. And if we let go of all the buttons, we'll stay where we are. But the problem is, we can go sideways, which is not what we want because now we are flying. So that's what this last little bit here at the bottom is for. Go into sprites, grab out another set my sprite X to 0, change X to acceleration Y, and then set this number here to whatever your gravity number is. So mine is 350 here. So I'll change this to 350. So now what it's doing is every time the game updates, it's going to check if the center of our sprite is touching a ladder. If it is, check if the up button is pressed. If the up button is pressed, it's going to climb the ladder. If the up button is not pressed, check if the down button is pressed. If the down button is not pressed, then it's going to keep you still on the ladder. And if it is pressed, it's going to climb down. And if your sprite is not touching the ladder, it is going to set the gravity back to normal. So one last test in our game. We walk along. W will climb up the ladder. S will climb down the ladder. If we let go of all the buttons, we'll stay still. But if we hop off the ladder, we will fall down. So hopefully this helps in your games, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!